So this video is a really important one. We all know that the strafe meta has now taken over Warzone, but which are the best strafing guns inside the game? So this video is going to break down the stats for all of the SMGs as well as all of the assault rifles from Cold War to let you know which ones are the fastest strafing guns. If you enjoy weapon stat breakdowns, weapon comparisons and overall tips and tricks for Warzone, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers. And also click the link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel. We do make extra content over there as well, and we're so close to reaching 100 subscribers. So the main part of this video is all about strafe speeds, because that is what is a huge factor in which are the best close range weapons inside Warzone. Some of the assault rifles have great strafe speeds, even better than some SMGs, so it's really weird the way this game is being balanced right now. And time to kill is another factor which we'll also quickly go over in this video to determine which are the best close range weapons. But let's quickly just go over our testing methods for this video. So for the SMGs, we tested the second from last stock. That's because this is the fastest stock for the SMGs. And then we also added on the highest amount of ammo capacity as well, just because I had to use this for the testing, and you'll see why in just a moment. And then for the assault rifles, we did a very similar thing, but we used the final stock instead, because for assault rifles, the final stock is actually the quickest. And then we used the largest magazine attachment as well. Now, we could have also tested the task force barrel for every single one of these guns, but because there is a counter recoil and some guns don't really benefit from that in any way, then we only wanted to test the stocks to make sure you're getting the best strafe speed from your stock and which weapons give you that strafe speed. But you can add on the task force barrel if you want an even quicker strafe speed. And another thing I do want to mention as well before we get into the rest of this video is that the bruiser grip helps with strafe speed as well. So even though it says it helps with movement speed and hipfire accuracy, movement speed overall encompasses strafe speed. So if you want the maximum strafe speed possible out of any gun in this game, use the bruiser grip as well as the task force barrel and your favorite stock. Now, with all of that out of the way, what I quickly want to show you is how exactly we tested this. So on screen just now, you will see my editing software, and what you'll see is I've pinged this wall, which is about 10 meters away. It's probably really hard for you to see because this is quite a small box right here, but we pinged the wall, it's 10 meters away. Then what we did was we stood on to the side and then we strafed. So as you can see, I'll just quickly run through this. We strafed all the way through until we touched the wall, and in that exact frame between when we first started moving to when we touched the wall is the time I took. And then also we done a little equation on that to work out how fast you moved over the 10-meter distance. And then we also did the exact same test once again with every single gun, but firing this time. So we fired the weapon and then we did the exact same test. So as you can see here, the gun is getting fired. But now let's take a look into the actual numbers of these strafe speeds. So on screen just now, you will see all of the strafe speeds for every single Cold War SMG in the game. Standard strafe speed is without firing. Firing is obviously when you're firing your gun. And then we have the Milano, the LC10, the PPSH, the MAC-10, the Bullfrog, the AK-74U, and the Cold War MP5. Now, we missed out the KSP because it's a burst fire gun. No one's really going to use that. But as you can see, if you're looking at the top three guns for maximum movement, you've got the Milano, you've got the PPSH, and you've got the MAC-10. And this is why the PPSH actually feels so good inside Warzone, is because of this movement speed aspect. The TTK on this gun is not the best, and we'll go on to that in just a moment. But like I said, the main thing about this gun is that it moves really quick. But as you can see, the MAC-10 is the fastest moving SMG for the Cold War weapons. The LC10 and the AK-74U and every other SMG is not doing a bad job. But when you take a look at the assault rifles, none of these actually come close. So as you can see, the MAC-10, the PPSH, and the Milano are actually doing a great job in terms of strafe speed, especially when you're firing. You do get a super great bonus with your firing movement speed with that stock. So now looking at the assault rifles, we have every single assault rifle on screen just now. We've got the QBZ, the Groza, the FFAR, the XM4, the FARA, the Krig, and the AK-47. And what you can see again is the exact same stats, but now with those respective weapons. And as you can see, the firing strafe speed for assault rifles is just much quicker than the SMGs. So as you can see, the slowest strafe speed weapon is actually the Cold War AK-47, and that is 3.47 meters per second, which is still quicker than most of the SMGs in the game, which is absolutely insane. Then if you look at the fastest moving guns, you've got the FARA, which is probably one of the reasons why it's been so popular. You've got the Krieg and you've got the QBZ. Now, the Krieg and the QBZ don't do that much damage up close, and that is why they're not so popular. But like I said, we'll discuss that in a moment. But then when you look at the FARA, the XM4, the FFAR, and the Groza, they all have insane movement speeds close to 4 meters per second. And that is absolutely nuts, especially when you compare it and go back to looking at the SMGs. So as you can see, the assault rifles have a faster strafing speed than all of the SMGs. I don't know why they made the game like this, but it seems counterproductive to me. But this is why most people are running double AR loadouts, because instead of running an SMG, you can run an assault rifle, has better damage range, faster strafe speeds, and pretty much all the benefits that an SMG should have. The next section of this video is taken from TrueGameData.com, and a link to all of their stuff will be in the description down below. But on screen just now, what you'll see is the TTK chart for every single SMG in the game. If we can remember, the fastest strafing SMGs in the game were the MAC-10, the PPSH, and the Milano. So we'll get rid of the rest of these guns just for now. So after removing all of these guns, as you can see here, the MAC-10 kills the quickest, then we've got the PPSH, then the Milano, and the Milano just sucks, to be honest, inside Warzone. That's why every one of the other SMGs are just much more viable, even if they don't have a faster strafe speed. And the MAC-10 kills the quickest out of the fastest strafing speed SMGs in the game. And then the Milano I just wouldn't use whatsoever, especially with that kind of TTK. And then you'll see that the PPSH does do a great job, and this is why it's actually a great SMG inside Warzone. And I was wondering why it felt so good, and it's because it has a decent time to kill, not the best, but decent, and it also has one of the fastest strafing speeds for an SMG. So if you're looking for a super fast time to kill SMG that also has a fast strafe speed, the MAC-10 has to be your go-to gun. And if you add on that task force barrel and the bruiser grip on there, you'll be zooming much quicker than even the stats I mentioned previously in this video. So next, what we can see is the assault rifle TTKs, and this is for every single assault rifle in terms of Cold War. And the fastest strafe speeds, if you can remember, actually came from the QBZ as well as the Krieg. But if you look at the time to kill for the QBZ, it's the slowest TTK Cold War assault rifle in the game. So you don't really want to use that, especially up close. It just doesn't do that well whatsoever. That is the line right here for it. But again, this is the second slowest TTK when it comes to up close assault rifles. So you don't want to use the Krieg either. Next, I want to talk about the Cold War AK47. Now, it has the lowest TTK up close, so it seems like a no-brainer option. But if you can remember back from the strafe speeds, this was the absolute slowest when it comes to the Cold War assault rifles. This was the slowest strafing gun. And what I do want to quickly mention is that it does still strafe faster than Modern Warfare weapons. So if you're going to compare this to like a Ram 7 or something like that, it still strafes faster than that gun. So I would highly recommend the Cold War AK47 over any other Modern Warfare gun and using it as your SMG. But I wouldn't use this because it just strafes a little too slow, and you will get outgunned by some of the other assault rifles here. Then we've got left with the FARA, the XM4, the Groza, and the FFAR. So what you can see here is they've got the FFAR in this brown line, and it still strafes just as fast as it always did. So it's still a great option inside Warzone at a 600 millisecond TTK. Then we've got the FARA in the orange line here, and then we've got the Groza in the pink line. I wouldn't really use the Groza anymore, plus it's got broken iron sights. The recoil on the Groza is just way too weird to manage. But then we're left with three great options for the assault rifles. Like I said, they all are going to strafe slower than the QBZ and the Krieg, but up close you need to have that TTK that you can actually use. So this is why those three options are great. But if you can remember back, like I said, they all strafe faster than every single SMG from Cold War. So they're going to work out to be your better SMGs because the movement is just so much quicker with these guns. The one I would recommend here is the XM4. It actually strafes a little faster than the FFAR, but it doesn't strafe quite as fast as the FARA. But like I said, all three of these are great options, especially if you're going to run them as your SMG as a secondary. But like I said, when it comes to SMGs, there's only one option, which is the MAC-10. And then when it comes to assault rifles, there is almost three options here, and they all strafe quicker than the MAC-10. So there we have it. There are the fastest strafing weapons inside Warzone, and I hope this has helped you choose which is going to be your next close range secondary weapon. I know it's all kind of up in the air right now, but hopefully this has helped you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a like, as it takes us a while to test things like this. Also subscribe, as we're trying to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and subscribe to our second channel as well. We're almost reaching 100 subscribers over there, and thank you very much for watching.